Hey guys, a lot of people have been asking me about this, so today I'm going to do a game room tour. I'm going to show off all the games here behind me, as well as some of the stuff I have in a different room of my house. And I'm going to highlight some of the different stuff I have for the different systems and show you my favorites. So here we go. I picked up this glass display at Goodwill a couple years ago. I just have some of my extra games in here, but there are some good games, so let me show you what I have. I have these Zelda Joy-Cons, and then I have some PlayStation stuff up here, mostly Final Fantasy and Crash. Here's some extra Super Nintendo games I picked up over the years. Then on the bottom shelf, I have a few extra NES games. Here's all my PS3 games, including the 3 Uncharted games, which I absolutely love. And then most of these PS2 games I got at that garage sale earlier this year, and there's some really good titles in here. And here's the rest of my PS2 collection. Let me go over some of my favorites right now. One of my favorite series of all time, we got Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas. Incredible games. I have a lot of these fun compilation collections for PS2, like there's one for Street Fighter, SNK made one, Taito has one, and then there's one for Capcom too. This game is also one of my favorites for the PS2, and the third one's not so bad either, but this one is the best. For a while, I was into collecting Famicom games from Japan, but then I kind of stopped, but I still have these in my collection. And I also have some Famicom Disk System games. So these are games that would have come out in Japan on the Disk System, which never made it to the United States, and they actually just look like floppy disks. They're pretty cool. I got a bunch of GBA SP, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, and Game Boy Advance systems over here. This is my favorite one because it looks like an NES, and I've had this one since it first came out. Here are some other miscellaneous handhelds. Let's talk a little bit about the Gamecube now. Here's my Gamecube collection. We can go over some of the highlights from this system. First of all, this is one of the best controllers of all time, the Wavebird controller, the first great wireless controller ever made. I have a copy of Animal Crossing. This game is incredible. I remember spending a lot of time in this game when it first came out, and check it out. It even has the original memory card with it. One of my favorite Mario Kart games of all time is Mario Kart Double Dash. I keep my Game Boy Advance and Game Boy games in these bins. I just feel like it's easier to organize them this way. Here's my Dreamcast collection. It's kind of small, but I do have some great games in here. Like here's Shenmue. One of my favorite games of all time, Crazy Taxi. I was heavily into collecting PS1 games. Here's all of them from my collection, and I can go over some of my favorites right now. Crash Team Racing was Sony's answer to Mario Kart, and it's honestly just as fun. So check this out. They remade it for all the modern consoles as well. This rhythm game is a lot of fun. Parappa the Rapper. These games blew me away when they first came out. Gran Turismo and Gran Turismo 2. This game is really fun. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. I was really addicted to this in college when I probably should have been studying. On top of the shelves, I have a few special things like an original Game Boy in the case up here. We got the Genesis and TurboGrafx Classic systems. A few 80s Game & Watch systems, the Lego NES set that came out a couple years ago, and then there's a Lego Mario. And then I have the Neo Geo portable machine over here. On to the next shelf, and on the bottom row, you'll see I have all my Wii and also my Wii U games. For Wii U, you have to have Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. These games are incredible. They're so much fun to play, and the soundtracks are some of the best soundtracks I've heard in video games. You know I love Mario, so New Super Mario Bros. Wii was a game I spent a lot of time with when this first came out. Here's my Nintendo Switch games, and honestly, I don't play about 5 to 10 of these, so I'm going to probably trade them in and maybe exchange them for something that I think I would be more interested in. But real quickly, I did mention Double Dash earlier. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is probably the best Mario Kart game I've ever played. The amount of courses, the amount of characters you can choose from is just incredible. Here's all my Super Nintendo games on these shelves over here. And I will show you why I have a random Super Famicom game right there. If you can only get one Super Nintendo game, I'd recommend getting this one. It has Super Mario World on it, and then it has the 4 previous remade versions of the Super Mario games from the NES. Some of my other favorite Super Nintendo games include Link to the Past, Turtles in Time, Castlevania 4, and Final Fight. I do have a small Sega Genesis Complete in Box collection over here, which is highlighted by all 4 of the main Sonic games, and Ninja Turtles The Hyperstone Heist. Here's my collection of Nintendo DS and 3DS games. Here's a unique game, Super Princess Peach, where you actually play as Peach and you try to rescue Mario. NES was the first game system that I fell in love with in 1987, so you see I have a decent size collection of NES games. And here's 3 of my favorite NES games, Legend of Zelda, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, and of course my favorite game of all time, Mario 3. Here on top of these shelves, some Amiibo, some Classic Edition boxes, and some Switch Lite stuff, and then some 3DS and 2DS stuff. I have a backlit modded Game Boy right here. A bunch of complete in box NES, Game Boy, and Super Nintendo and Game Boy Advance games on these shelves. Here's where I keep some of my consoles. Here's a PlayStation. There's that Famicom Disk System I was talking about earlier. And here's some Sega stuff. Excuse the mess. Here's an NES and a Super Nintendo on the floor. I got some more systems up here on this shelf and some complete in-box handhelds from Nintendo. I'm in a different room now. Let me show you what I have behind me. Just about every Nintendo Power magazine ever made sits on these shelves. Let's just pull out a random one here. Here is the Super Castlevania 4 issue. There's 3 complete in-box Wiis, a PS2, and some random strategy guides down here. Here's a really awesome NES collection I picked up last year that has a bunch of banger games in there, and then the NES console. I don't play a lot of Xbox, but I do have that system and these games to go along with it. And here's some stuff that I don't really play with that much anymore. I might eventually trade them in, or I'll just keep them as backups. Here's my bin filled with random controllers. I mean, there's just like tons and tons of random accessories and controllers and adapters for different systems. Here's 2 more Wiis. Earlier I mentioned I have a Super Famicom game. The reason I have that is because I have a Super Famicom complete in the box here. I'm always selling and buying stuff, so maybe my collection will change. Next year I'll do another video. That's all I got for today. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great day.